Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is not just a coin. This is a silver witness to America's manifest destiny, a tangible link to the California gold, Russia relic from the battlefield of the Civil War, and a victim of one of the most controversial laws in U.S. financial history. The seated Liberty dollar, minted from 1840 to 1873, had one of the longest reigns of any U.S. dollar. And its story is the story of a nation being forged in fire. For more than 30 years, America had no silver dollar minted for commerce. The halt ordered by Thomas Jefferson in the early 1800s had left a void. By the late 1830s, the time was right to bring back the nation's flagship silver coin. The new design was created by the U.S. Mint's immensely talented chief, engraver Christian Gobrecht. His vision became known as the seated Liberty. The obverse depicts Lady Liberty seated on a rock, a powerful symbol of permanence and stability. She holds a pole topped with a Phrygian cap, the ancient Roman symbol of freedom, while her other hand rests steadily on a Union shield inscribed with the word liberty. It is an image of a nation that is both free and vigilant. Before the main series began in 1840, the Mint produced a small number of stunning predecessor coins from 1836 to 1839 known as Gobrecht dollars. These coins were artistic proofs of concept featuring a similar seated Liberty, but with a magnificent flying eagle on the reverse. When the seated Liberty dollar went into full production in 1840, the spectacular flying eagle was replaced with a more standard design. The reverse featured a powerful bald eagle clutching an olive branch and arrows very similar to eagles on previous U.S. coins. This design was easier to mint and more recognizable, pairing a new vision of liberty with a traditional symbol of American strength. Like the dollars before it, the seated Liberty dollar was not a coin for the common person's pocket. Its significant purchasing power meant it was primarily a tool for banks, large-scale merchants, and international trade. It was used to settle major accounts, back paper currency, and purchase large tracts of land as America expanded westward under the banner of manifest destiny. The California gold rush of 1849 had a strange and dramatic effect on this silver coin. Suddenly, a flood of new gold entered the economy, which made the value of gold go down relative to silver. This meant that the silver in a seated Liberty dollar became worth more than its $1 face value. People began hoarding and melting the coins for their silver content, causing them to vanish from circulation. This is why mintages from the early 1850s are particularly low. The seated Liberty dollar was the primary silver dollar of the United States when the nation tore itself apart in the Civil War. It was the currency of both the Union and, through circulation, the Confederacy. The immense suffering and soul-searching of the war led to a great religious revival in the country, which would soon leave a permanent mark on the coin itself. During the darkest days of the war, a national movement began urging the Treasury to recognize God on the nation's coinage. In 1864, Congress passed a law authorizing the change. 2 years later, in 1866, the seated Liberty dollar was updated. A scroll or ribbon bearing the motto, "In God We Trust," was added to the reverse, floating in the space above the eagle's head. This addition creates the two major subtypes of the series for collectors: the no motto $1840 to $1865 and the with motto $1866 to $1873. This simple change provides a clear historical marker separating the coins of the pre-war and post-war eras. Following the discovery of the massive Comstock lode in Nevada, the U.S. government established a new mint in the heart of the Wild West Carson City. From 1870 to 1873, a small number of seated Liberty dollars were struck there bearing the iconic CC mint mark. These coins are a direct link to the silver boom and the legendary days of frontier America, and they are intensely sought after by collectors. The seated Liberty dollar did not fade away, it was executed. The Coinage Act of 1873 was a sweeping law that reformed the nation's monetary system. One of its key provisions was the complete elimination of the standard silver dollar. The law put the U.S. on a de facto gold standard and was later vilified by silver mining interests as the crime of 73. It brought the 34-year history of this iconic coin to a sudden and controversial close. Among the many rare dates in this series, one stands alone: the 1870 S-seated Liberty dollar. Struck at the San Francisco Mint, its official mintage is unknown, and today fewer than a dozen are believed to exist. It was likely never intended for circulation, but rather as a presentation piece or cornerstone coin. It is one of the great rarities of American numismatics, worth millions of dollars. Other key rarities include the 1873 CC and 1851 O. For current value, these coins hold significant worth. No motto, $1840 to $1865. Even in very worn low-grade condition, a common date will typically cost $300 to $500 US. In a nice problem-free mid-grade, the price jumps to $800 to $2,000 US. Uncirculated examples are exceptionally rare and command many thousands of dollars, with motto 1866 to $1873. Low-grade examples start around $350 to $600 US. The mint mark is everything here. A CC dollar from Carson City is a treasure. Even the most worn damage example will start at 2,000 plus USD. Nice examples easily soar past 5,000 to 10,000 US, and much higher. Specific rarities and auction results. The 1870 S, for example, can sell for over $1 million if one ever appears at auction. Source states the 1870 S is worth 1,000,000 plus USD privately held. An 1873 CCMS 60 is valued at $300,000 to $1 million US. An 1851 OXF is valued at $15,000 to $50,000 US. A 2023 MS 65 1873 CC sold for $2,640,000 US. An 1851 O-piece GS 58 Australian dollars hammered $288,000 US in 2021. A Gobrecht pattern dollar sold for $1,380,000 US. The seated Liberty dollar is far more than an old coin. It is a 34-year chronicle of America's most defining era. It represents the optimism of westward expansion, the agony of the Civil War, and the raw ambition of the Gilded Age. Each coin is a survivor of a turbulent past, a story of a nation's journey etched in silver. It stands as a testament to the artistry and ambition of 19th century America. Its enduring appeal lies in its beauty, its connection to the nation's past, and the stories it tells about a time of transformation and growth. It built railroads, survived wars, and was executed without trial. This is the coin that paid for America's soul. Thank you for joining us on this fascinating journey through history. Until next time, keep exploring the wonders of the past.